Have you or are you thinking about hiring a helper or another handyman to grow your business? Question. If you are, here's some things you better take into consideration before you run out and hire somebody. Because hiring an extra person can help you or it can hurt you. Hope this has helped. If you have hired people in the past, let me know in the comments below how it worked out, the things you did, the pros and cons on your end. Leave me a comment below and let me know how it worked out for you. I hope y'all are as half as busy as people are trying to make me busy. So if you've been in the boat of hiring people to grow your business or to help you, oops, time out. Okay, sorry, I'm back. I left my thermostat on this morning and just got home. It's getting late. I'm going to sit outside on the porch and the mosquitoes are bad, and I put a new cartridge and pad in my thermostat so I can sit out here and talk to y'all without getting ate up by mosquitoes. So anyway, as some of y'all know, I've had helpers and over the years. And when I had a home inspection company, I had multiple inspectors and I had people helping me. So I have little experience hiring people. Come on, baby, come on, light. So there are pros and cons to hiring people to help you. There we go. Me personally, I don't want to be that big company, or I don't want to be a multi-handyman company. But from time to time, I do need help. This last time I hired, it's been over a year ago that I hired that helper and some of y'all remember the story where first day out we're putting this big parallelogram beam up. Well, wasn't huge. It was like 8 foot, I think, 7 or 8 foot over this outdoor patio or outdoor kitchen, and he was standing on the granite countertop, and I was putting a new one up. We dry fitting a new one, and he was on one side of the counter and I was on the other side, or he was on the inside, I was on the outside, and he was trying to get down. I said, I'm helping. I said, you got it? Yeah, I got it. Go up! Cracked the damn granite countertop. I mean, instead of saying, yeah, I could use some hands, that was his first day, okay? That I got lucky. That repair only cost me $150 to repair. And, that job turned out to be bigger than I could do by myself. That's why I hired him. He didn't last about 2 months. I made him mad. He was arguing with me on we were building a shed, and he was arguing on me how to do it. Then admitted that he'd never built one that way. What the hell are you arguing with me? I'm the boss. This is the way we're going to do it. And so he gets his butt hurt and just never showed up again. So he had other issues going home, which is, it's neither here nor there. So anyway, pros and cons. Let me build a list here, because really there's more cons than pros in my opinion, but the pros can outweigh the cons if you get the right person, and that's the problem. That's one of the cons. Usually I have to go through several people before I find one that will work. And when I say will work, I mean literally will work, or that's a good fit for me and my company, because not everybody is going to be a good fit for you and your company. we'll take this last guy for example. I knew that I wanted a helper. I didn't want another handyman. If I could find one, that'd been great. And I knew that, I'll ask, I hired him for a specific job, which was basically rebuilding the structure of this patio covering, or outdoor patio and stuff, and replacing siding and rotted beams and posts and, turning a nightmare. But I thought, hey, if he works out, I could use him elsewhere. So I asked him, do you know how to paint? Do you know how to drive a nail? Do you know how to use power tools? Yeah. Oh, I've done all that. I know all that. Okay. This was my first red flag because he couldn't provide. When I asked him for proof, I've done it for my dad and my uncles. I work with him, and he could not provide me a company where he'd actually done that. Okay, I'm gonna start you at $10 an hour. If you do good, we'll go to 15. If you do good there, we'll go up to 20. I said, I'm really looking for kind of skilled help, but I said, well, as it turns out, he couldn't paint. He couldn't drive a nail. He didn't know how to use many power tools. And this guy was only a couple years younger than I was. So, like I say, he just didn't work out. So, you're going to want to, pros is if you do find somebody who's good, then it's going to increase your productivity. There's a mosquito here. He's already trying to come in, and I'm sure this hasn't kicked in yet. It's going to increase your productivity. But you need to know why you're hiring somebody. Don't you want to hire somebody? Do you need a helper, or do you want another handyman to take some of the work off you? Another handyman can also be your helper, but you should be paying the two differently. A helper gets paid a lot less than someone who has actual handyman experience. So, figure out why you're hiring somebody. Don't expect to hire a handyman for $20 or $25 an hour that knows how to really do the job. Then want him to be your helper and want to pay him helper wages. So you can pay someone $10 or $15 an hour, and they may be greatly underpaid, and they can be greatly overpaid. Always verify. If they say they can do something, verify. But a good helper or even mediocre helper can really help you get done with jobs quicker and more efficiently. Now, you will have to add their costs into the estimates, which is kind of a con. Your projects will cost more to do if you do them right. You could potentially do bigger jobs with a helper or helpers. Now, you guys that are running construction crews, you're not handymen. I know right up here, difference between contractor and handyman. I know people try to run crews, and it's not a handyman, it's contractor. So we're not even going to go in there. I'm just looking at my notes here. Basically, you're going to be able to work faster. You should be work faster, and to take on more jobs, bigger jobs. That's your pros. The cons, big list here. Small writing, big list. You need to pay them. If you think you're going to give them a 1099 and they're going to be considered a independent contractor, I'll just pay them 1099. That's one of the fastest ways you're going to get in trouble with IRS. I know, there's some of y'all go, well, I've been doing this for 10, 20 years. I'll pay all my guys to independent contractors. If you ever get audited, that's the first thing they're going to go after. And it's going to be so easy to prove that they were employees, and then you're going to be up that proverbial creek when they want all those years back taxes. First thing they're going to ask them, or go to the people you were hiring, 1099, issue 1099 to, did he tell you what time to show up? Well, yeah, he told me I'd be there every morning at 8, or we had a job start at 10, he told me, boom, automatically they're employee. And automatically you owe all those years or months of back taxes. But let's just say you do get past that point. Okay, Mr. 1099 independent contractor, how many people do you work for? Well, I just work for him. Boom, he's your employee, or her, she's your employee. It is so easy to prove that they're your employee. So if you think you're going to, or pay them under the table, that works all well and good until you piss one off. Then or you tell him he's going to be a 1099, he thinks he's not going to pay taxes, and you send him a W-2, and he starts singing like a canary to the IRS. Or even if you do send him 1099 or pay him under the table, especially if you pay him under the table, he gets mad at you, or his family does, and they report you to the IRS, and you have IRS agents come knocking on your door, looking at your record stuff. It works so fine until that happens. And I know all this because when I had a home inspection company, my CPA used to be an IRS agent. Old man, little bald-headed man, he reminded me of a cross between Mr. Magoo and that hamburger guy on Pie Pie that says, I will gladly pay you the second Tuesday of next week. Little short, fat, bald-headed guy. That's who it was. According to him, and when I knew him, he was old. So he was the guy who would go in when the IRS wanted to prove that the mob was laundering money or something, and go over their books and find all these areas where they were hiding, laundering money. So he had some really cool stories. And so when I wanted to hire inspectors, first thing he says, are you going to hire them as independent contractors, or are you going to hire them as employees? Independent contractors. He goes, but forget it. He goes, you'll get sideways IRS faster that way than any other way. He said, if you're going to hire someone, hire them as employees. Okay. So that would be my suggestion to you. You don't want to get sideways with IRS, especially if you're a handyman, a real handyman. So you have to pay employment taxes. Your insurance is probably going to go up. That person you hire, whether a helper or another handyman, is an extension of your company. If he goes in and steals something from a customer, jewelry, whatever, money, whatever, it's going to come back on you. If he's over peeing in the bushes, broad daylight, in a upscale gated community, that's on you. Sure, they'll gripe about him, but that's going to reflect on you. So, if he breaks something, he falls off a ladder and lands in the middle of your customer's Lamborghini, crushes the hood in, that's going to be on you and your insurance. I know, I ain't going to cover him in insurance. It's going to cost me another $100 not to cover him in insurance. I thought, well, fine, he breaks something that costs a couple $100,000 or burns a house down or something like that, then you're going to be out of business. And I done covered the theft part. But not only customer theft, I had tools. Every time I seem to have a helper, I have tools come up missing. Now, sometimes I give them tools, and they may be like me, forget where they put them. Totally understandable. Some of my tools, I know where I keep them. They're out there. So, just saying. When you hire a helper or another handyman, you got to put up with their lifestyle. Do they show up on time? Now, my helper, I hired that last one, he'd show up on time early right at first. It was great. A lot of times he'd be there. I'd tell him, meet me someplace, he'd be there before I would. It was great. But others, and if you remember these forums, you know You got to put up with the drunks, the druggies, and sometimes you get them. Oh, I can't make it work today. My wife is sick. I gotta stay home and take care of her. Well, dude, you're not even married. Oh, I'm with my girlfriend. Well, you told me you were single. You didn't have a girlfriend. Well, I just met her. I'm just too sick to come in today. Then that day you're working by yourself. It's going to slow you down, may put you behind. You got to deal with that. If he's wanted. Again, that takes me down the bottom of the list. Background check, drug test. You need to do them. Pain in the butt to do them. Best is to hire a company. Say, go over there. They'll take care of everything. Oh, I don't. No, that's going to cost me a couple $100. Don't hire somebody then. But I'm telling you, you hire somebody, and they end up stealing off your customers, and the customers file the police report, and they go, "These guys wrap sheep along your leg. Why did you hire him? Didn't you do a background check?" Well, I asked him if he had any felonies. He said no. Well, the guy's been arrested 13 times for residential theft, felony theft. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, guess what? It's on you now. Yeah, same way with drug tests. You mess up something or if your helper or your other handyman messes something up, burns the house down, floods the house or something, and then they go and start digging in the background, find out he had drug problems, it's going to come on you and your company. Now, I'm not saying these people don't deserve a chance. They do. Second or third chances. Doesn't mean you have to give it to them, and if you do give it to them, you need to watch them. You don't need to be, this guy hired, toward the end, he's like, I knew the end was coming up because he was always, like I say, he had other issues at home, and so it transferred to his work, and he was getting real edgy with me, and I didn't, look, dude, this is the way we're doing it. And so then he said, why don't you go get jobs, get some extra jobs, and just, I can go do those jobs and make you money and all that. I'm like, are you freaking crazy? The last one he did was painting a 12 by 16 shed that we put a roof on, re-roofed it, and she wanted it repainted. I left for an hour to go get some more paint, and he was painting the 16-foot long back of it, okay, with a roller and a brush, because it was like T111. I left for an hour, and when I got back, he still wasn't done with that side. So you'll put up with stuff like that. And then, she had another shed I'd built her the year before. I painted turquoise, or some kind of turquoise color she wanted. I'm looking at it, and you can see white little smears every place where he was painting on this one and putting his hand back there to steady itself. I said, what the hell? I said, where's all those? I said, where'd you put your? I said, oh man, I'm sorry, I wasn't even paying attention. Guess who had to go buy turquoise paint and paint it and cover it up? Okay, comes on you, brother. I got backstabbing down, which basically is whether you hire a helper or somebody to be a handyman to do other jobs for you. You have to make sure that they're not going to be trying to steal your customers. Every time I've had someone do that, a customer comes and tells me, hey, he's been telling me he charges a lot less, and he's been trying to get me to use him on the side. Automatic, you're gone. Don't care how good you are. If you do that to me, you are gone. It's something you might have to put up with. Basically, this is more of you. Are you somebody who can deal with the added stress of people screwing up, people not doing what they're told, people doing their own thing? If you can't do that, if you're the type that gets bent out of shape every time something goes wrong, you probably don't want to hire help. if you have trouble telling people to hit the road, firing it, because really when you're hiring somebody, you're taking on their family too. You're helping support their family. Now, sure, they may screw up and lose that chance, but you know, if you're not comfortable knowing that their family may miss rent payments or something like that, and you start feeling guilty, you don't need to hire people. Okay, their family is kind of your responsibility too. That's pretty much it. That's a lot of cons, but there again, why are you hiring help? If you want the multi-handyman company, you want to be the leading company, or you want to move into contracting and be, you know, build houses and stuff like that, then you're going to need a crew. But good grief, I only hire people now on a contract basis as helpers. I don't want to have a huge crew. I don't want to manage people no more. I did that with the home inspecting. You know, at one time I had 4 inspectors plus myself, and I had a couple helpers who were apprentices. And it's just, I could do that when I was younger. Now, I don't want to do it, but you may. So, but you need to take these things into consideration before hiring somebody, especially the pay. That's where most people get screw themselves trying to save a buck. If you're doing it right, you can pay their taxes, you can pay the extra insurance that may cost your company, and you'll still make money. You'll still make, if you do it right, good money. I just don't want the stress and the headache no more. I deal with myself some days. So anyway, it's getting late here. I just want to make this video. I know some of y'all have asked me before, what should I look for when I hire somebody? Okay, maybe that's that's probably a totally different video I'll have to do, but this right here, pros and cons, weigh them out. For me, if I'm building a handyman company, the pros outweigh the cons. But man, it can be a hassle getting there. You also have to deal with, you know, them running off to your competitors. You know, maybe they will, maybe they won't. Or going starting your own stuff. What if they're in the middle of a big project and you know, you got them 2 weeks out, and then all of a sudden they decide they're going to go run over here to Joe Blow Handyman Company because he's going to pay them $1 an hour more, or half a percent more, or something like that. You know, that's another thing. How are you going to pay your helper? By hour? By percent of the job? Most helpers aren't going to work for a percent of the job. If you say, well, this is a $700 job we should get done today, I'll give you 5%. Not going to work. 10%. They do all their day? They're glad to be paid by the hour most of the time. Now, a handyman, hiring a experienced handyman, maybe you can do a commission base or a percentage base. These are all things you need to figure out before you start hiring somebody. So, Donald, Blue Collar DIY. We'll catch you on the next one.